is we want to kind of have a nice mix of contemporary along with traditional. So this is showing a rendering of what the room could be. We have a headboard that spans the entire length of the room. That headboard then will house all the electrical in it so that we don't have to get into your infrastructure and have a lot of extra work. So we have television, again, on a wall that's filled out a little bit, again, so that we can get all the electrical into that wall instead of having to get into all the plastic walls. So we'll have a desk, drawers, television wall, and with that television wall, as things change through the years with the size of the TV, we can just change it on the wall. A bench to sit down and take your shoes off or lay your suitcase on. And then within the bathrooms, which we're not showing right here, there is, those are going to be, even though they're small, very luxurious in their finishes, and we're replacing the bathtub with a beautiful shower with a glass enclosure, so it'll feel much more open and inviting. So we're excited about that. The wall of covering on the headboard wall, I'll just say really quickly, is bringing a bit of tradition back into the room, because what we're doing is we're working with a company to create a custom wall covering that takes some of the motifs that we find throughout the club and creates a wall covering that highlights those, for instance, around the elevator. Very interesting.
Question? So, our Columbia Club logo is blue. Are you proposing to change that to red?
No. This was a placeholder, and that is something that we haven't completely defined as to what it will be. It could be that if there were... Do you want to answer that?
The reason we made it red is to catch your attention.
It worked!
I'm so glad that you cued in on that and picked it up right away. Got your attention. What we really intend to do is sell corporate sponsorships off of that. So if your corporation would like to furnish a room, your logo could actually be in that place. So while the Columbia Club logo will actually be there in its traditional blue, there's opportunities for each and every one of your corporations to have your own particular corporate logo. The name on the door and the logo on the door, I can't think of a better way to sell the Roman family. And if you're really curious, you want to put your family crest and name it. We can do that as well. It's just time and money, but we'll accommodate whatever makes you happy.
So Jim, what if you want to put your picture?
Sorry, I feel like I draw the line somewhere.
That's on the sheet when you pull back the bed. Locker rooms, as everyone mentioned, we have new lockers going in now. New carpeting goes in tomorrow. So those are underway. So very exciting. This is showing a rendered floor plan of the co-working space. And so, I probably should. I'll talk loudly.
There's a wireless mic, Sarah, right there by the projector.
Oh. Okay, so this comes in off of the elevator, and what we have in this area is the business center. So it's able to be enclosed in glass, so anyone can come in and use the business center whenever they like. So it will be equipped with a table and all the equipment that you would need to make presentations or get on your internet or whatever you need to do. And here is the co-working space. And this is a space that we are trying to merge a more contemporary space with some traditional finishes. So we have in here what is currently desired in most businesses is we have lots of different working spaces. So it's not all the same. So for instance, this is a stand-up height table, And then over here, we have individual workstations that are also stand-up, sit-down. Along the windows, we have individual workstations that actually are separated with some glazing. Up here, we have more of a lounge situation. So you can meet more casually or sit by yourself and read, what have you. There's a television monitor in that space too, so if you wanted to have a meeting, you could. And then over here is a conference room, again with AV capabilities. This is a kitchenette area, also with some vending, so you can actually have some food and drink in this area. And then a restroom. So this will be a really, if you want to go to the next one. This is a rendering of what that might look like. So this is the stand-up, sit-down desks, the stand-up desks, and then we have the columns that are in here shrouded in wood. So again, it gives some warmth to the area, but it's much more contemporary and light and inviting. That's the business center. And this is the Platinum Lounge, also on the 6th floor. So this is a space where you can enjoy the bar in the back of the room, and there is a piano there, so this is a piano bar. It has very warm, inviting finishes and warm, comfortable furniture. There's the bar along with the piano. It looks out over the circle. There's a dining room incorporated into it, which can either be used separately or together. There are pocket doors that slide and make that a more private room or open to the entire lounge. This would be the sort of fireplace that we would incorporate into this, so that, it brings some of the tradition of the club into the contemporary, more contemporary space. And this is the wine vault and tasting room. So this is on the 2nd floor where the business center has been vacated. We're creating a new entrance. This acts like a foyer. We have a dining room with a very long table that can be divided into one table or two. And this entire space is the wine storage area, which will house 2,200 bottles at last count. We actually have a glass door that goes into this beautiful wine storage room. It will actually have a tile stone floor in this area. The rest of the space will have a wood floor. Beautiful finishes that give it the feel of an Italian or French kind of tasting room. There's the storage area. And then this is the upper floor, the rooftop bar and terrace cigar lays. This is going to be just the talk of the town, because this is going to have such a beautiful view and such a great feel, warm. Everybody's going to want to come here. So you've got your outdoor terraces, the indoor, along with a little kitchen, and then the cigar lays over here. And it all opens with glass to the outside. So this is just showing the areas that open. But the next slide, I believe, there's that's the look of it. So very beautiful. Downtown Indianapolis.
Do you have any idea how many members actually smoke cigars? One or lot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good question.
They legalize marijuana. Can we make it a
If they legalize marijuana, I think it'll go up. But we actually did do a survey, and there is about 10 to 15% of our folks are highly keen on cigars, and about 10 or 15% of our folks are highly keen on fitness, and about 10 or 15% of our folks are highly keen on wine. So you kind of put them together, we get 1 out of 2. If you add in marijuana, we'll probably put another 25-30%. Maybe open air dining will really take on a whole new characteristic. So getting
any questions on the terms of where we are with our strategic plan, what is our schedule, and what is our funding?
With the business center, have you guys explored walking desks for the millennial groups that like to make things difficult?
You know, we explored that, and I said that, you know, that would be a great naming opportunity for one of our millennials. Entrepreneurism and work ethic and health and fitness. So as an extension to our health and fitness, with your name on there, Rob, you can probably have a walking desk. And as people are feeling good about what they're doing, your name will pop up on the floor. So again, thank you for cueing me in on that opportunity to see if I can sell you something. What we are doing is we're reaching out to Herman Miller, who has a known reputation with what they call living working spaces. So they really designed the working space around the human effort to integrate, collaborate, and perform a high level of work at the same time. So we'll have a contemporary and a classic design integrated into it. It'll have heads down opportunity for those people who need to get some serious work done, collaboration for the kind of spirited entrepreneurism, as well as a state-of-the-art telecommunications center. So you can do Skype business meetings if you need to. And we're really trying to make sure that 20+% of our people are independent contractors, and another 10% are mobile workers. So we're trying to make sure that we truly accommodate the emerging needs of those who are coming into our club. Other questions? Okay, next on our agenda is our Platinum Society. I'm going to ask Mr. Ritzler to come back and talk to you about where we are with our Platinum Society as the benefits of being a Platinum member begin now.
Yes, sir. Okay, first I want to recognize all the members that have become Columbia Platinum Society Charter members. I think we have 2 screens, correct? As Mr. Redenbach says, we have approximately 100 people, and we do have some extras that have said that they want to pledge, they just haven't turned in their pledge cards. We are hovering right around $1 million. We have had members give more than the $7,500. We had one member give $150,000. We had another member give $100,000, and we had another member, which I received their check today for $10,000 for the Platinum Society. So it's good stuff. As you can see, Young leaving a lasting legacy. Columbia Club is honored to bestow these preferred founders' privileges and small token, and that's what I'm up here to explain. The Bronze Forever Commemorative Founders Plaque, which is going to be like this. It's going to be downstairs. If you haven't noticed, we have 2 other big bronze plaques down there now. This will be the 3rd one. The building, God forbid, might burn down, but those plaques aren't going anywhere. This is all concrete and steel. But the Platinum Membership ID card, we are going to have an annual Founders Dinner for all the members that have donated to the fund, because you know they are paying it forward. And for a thank you moving forward, hopefully this will bring in, and I think it will, a lot of new members. I think, as Sarah said, it will be the talk of the town. I think when people are looking out the Salesforce Tower, looking down, going, what's going on down there? They're going to want to become part of this club and not think it's some old stodgy, as they used to say, white man's club, which it is not. Unlimited access to the co-working space with the complimentary refreshment center. I don't know if you remember where Sarah showed the refreshment area. We're going to have a latte, espresso, coffee, decaf tea machine that'll be hooked up directly to water. It'll do the beans right then and there. And we'll have all the flavors. There'll be a refrigerator there with complimentary bottled waters and newspapers, and it's going to again be unlimited to the charter members. Sorry. Priority reservations, that's another, I think it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, perk that you get as being a charter member. You get to make priority reservations in any of the dining areas, including the Platinum Lounge and the rooftop. So you call up, Bill calls up and says, hey, Jim, I want that seating area with that nice fire pit up in the corner, right corner, table number, or seating area number 6, Friday night at 7 o'clock. Well, Mr. Shabazz is a platinum member, and he will get that priority reservation. So to me, that's the biggest thing, especially if you're entertaining friends and clients, to be able to really show off. The Platinum Society level portfolio, they're passing them out. Mr. Steele's now passing them out for us. Sorry. What happened to Molly? You can pick those up, and also the complimentary valet parking every day. After 4 o'clock, we have platinum charter member stickers that go in your car. Yes, sir, Mr. Miller.
I asked this to Chuck, and he doesn't know anything. Is the valet parking, is that good for overnight?
No, it's not good for
Okay.
but it's good 7 days a week. And you do not, and I say this, probably should, but you do not have to be here at the club. We would like you to be dining at the club, but as a charter member of the Platinum Society, that's just one of the perks. I came up with that one to the chagrin of the president. Well, you're going to get my free parking. That's all here, come in here. You know, it's big, and we want to thank the members that stepped up, because $7,500 is a big number. And you know, we are moving forward, and I think this is phenomenal for the club. I think it's phenomenal what the members have done. You know, both boards 100%, or the trustees from the foundation and the board of directors of the Columbia Club, 100% both supported this program. And to get that kind of backing to start this is unbelievable. And we should also thank Mr. Idbach, because this was his vision. He started this. He kept us on our toes. And it's unbelievable. I mean, I get goosebumps thinking of it. You're welcome. That's it? I'm through. What else can I talk about? Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I do. So if I make a reservation, do I just say, you know,
Yes, and everybody's going to know who it is. So yes.
We are working on platinum membership cards, so those will be coming in. Again, before you leave, we've got a list of our charter members that have started making their pledges. So we do have your portfolios and your parking stickers, so be sure to go back where Mr. Steele is sitting. I'll be over there after the presentation to help pass those out. The cards will be forthcoming, but yes, we will make sure that all of the concierge and everyone has a list of who those charter platinum members are. And again, you'll have your card designating them, but just mention that. And then the sticker, the valet staff has been instructed, you know, you can't say, oh, I'm a charter member. You have to have that sticker on your car. So if something happens, you get a new car, whatever, just please come see us in the membership office. We'll get that replaced for you.
And one last thing, I do want to stress that all these venues are open to all members, to all Columbians. It's not an exclusive. These are just benefits of the people that are building it. And the ones that are putting the money up front to build this should get some extra recognition, and that's what this is. But everything, the rooftop, the cigar lays, the Platinum Lounge, everything is open to all members during those normal hours that the place is open. We are going to make access to the rooftop very limited. It's only going to be for members and their guests. There will be no non-members upstairs. There will be no hotel guests upstairs. This is strictly your rooftop, and we will adhere to that policy. Plus, the city said we had to do that anyway. So, just remember that this club is your club, and I'm just trying to recognize the people that have stepped up and given the $7,500 reward. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing that, because that's going to be a great thing for the club. Thank you.
And if you haven't, there's pledge books also back there.
The last person on our agenda tonight is President Tara White of our foundation.
Of course I'm last.
But we always try to save the really dynamic speaker to really kind of key us off as we prepare to go to the bars. So,
I know, just emphasize, this is not a two-tier membership.
Oh,
This
no.
is just, we gotta do something for folks to step up and do the 7,500 or a little bit more. And it's a card, it's your name on a bronze plaque. You know, there's a bronze plaque down there for people that paid off the mortgage in some gazillion years ago. So, I mean, would you emphasize that? Because I just don't want anybody to think
I
that.
think it kind of did, but I'll do it
No,
again.
no, do it again, because people need to hear.
The real purpose of the 2020 strategic plan is to make sure that our club remains relevant and viable and sustainable going forward. But we need to do it now. Now is the time when the economy is good, the downtown is in a transformative period of time, and we need to make sure that we become a venue of favor and a top choice before competition catches up with you. You know, rooftop venues are rare right now, but I think within 10 years, everybody that can will have one. But the person who gets there first usually maintains 50% of the market preference. So we're going to try and be the first one to have the best location in the city of Indianapolis. Back that up with the Platinum Lounge, the co-working space, the wine venue, the fitness center. We're going to have a really dynamic offering layered on top of 130 years of excellent tradition. To do that, we want to make sure that every Columbian has equal rights to every access of this club, whether it be the French Room, Columbian Platinum Lounge, or the rooftop venue. Every Columbian has every access to it. Like Mr. Ritzler said, the rooftop will be restricted to members and their accompanied guests only. The Platinum Lounge is also going to be restricted to members and their guests only. So we do depend, as you know, upon selling out our venue to receptions for weddings as well as businesses. It helps put about $1 million to our bottom line every year with that in the hotel rooms. But when those occur, we need to make sure that members have a place where they can go and always have a well-receptive area that is warm, inviting, and exclusive, unique. And I think we're going to deliver exactly that. And I think not that I want to steal any of Daryl's venue, but since I got the podium, I'm going to take it down. I think there's some bets out there on my word count tonight. I'm not noted as revenue. But I really do want to say that, you know, when I began this effort 3 or 4 years ago, we talked about coming into a brand that's 125 years old, well established, and you say, well, guys and gals, we need to rebrand ourselves. We need to rethink who we are, what we are, and where we're going to go. We need to be more inclusive. We need to be multi-generational. We really need to think our business model, our membership model, and move forward to stay current with the times. That's not always an easy task, but I've been fortunate and blessed with board of directors who have stood behind me, grasped the vision, and helped move the brand and move the thoughts and move the images so that it was really a warm endorsement to get 100% of my board of directors to say, I'm in, and here's my pledge. 100% of our trustees board said, I'm in, and here's my pledge. I think we have 2/3, if not more, of all our living past presidents and stuff. So the leadership has said, we're here to make sure this goes forward and make sure that we're paying it forward what we inherited from the Columbians before us to make sure the Columbians after us will have the same kind of experience, if not better than we have. So that's where we are, and that's where we're going, and I'm excited to be a part of that. And I think your leadership here and the talented staff that Mr. Rinsler has put together is making a difference. And I won't steal any more of Mr. Wright's foundation talk, so please, Joe, come take the mic away from me so that we can get out of here.
I'm not sure what more can be said. This man's said it all. I don't know if you realize out there how incredible of a job this man has done to develop a timeline for something this bold. When he first came to our foundation to talk about these new programs, I said, well, Jim, these are bold initiatives. And they actually were. They're bold initiatives. I mean, this is incredible. To put this to pen and ink and make this work is an incredible job. So my hat's off to you. Now, one more round of applause. Let's have a conversation. I don't really have a speech planned. I think that speeches, I've given speeches for the last 2 years, and they're long and they're wordy and they say a lot. But I think you know what the foundation does. We're a 501c3. We take donations on behalf of the Columbia Club, and we try our best to put those monies to work in infrastructure, whether it's the facade or whether it's plumbing or unexciting, unsexy things like electrical work or whatever it is we do. We do that on behalf of the club. We're here to support the club. So as a 501c3, we have our own fiscal year. It's different than the club's. Ours ends in June. So our numbers don't really coincide with the club because the club has a calendar year, fiscal year. So our reporting comes in July and August, and that is after our year ending in end of June. So if you look on the Columbia magazine and you look online, you'll see our numbers there for the foundation. What I can tell you is we had a fantastic gala last Saturday night.
Yes.
A great time. And I want to thank everybody who was there last Saturday night. We had 167 people there. Great time. We great music, great food. About 50 or 60 silent and live auction items. I don't know that I've seen a more exciting time, at least in many years. Okay, it's been a while. So we had a good, and I think that the great thing about the foundation and the club coming together is the fact that we are doing things together. And by doing things together, people like Jim Rensler, who's done a marvelous job, Cynthia Barker, Chris Norman taking pictures. All these people spent months of tireless work putting together a fabulous evening for people. The people that brought their beautiful automobiles with the concours out, the chef that prepared the food. I mean, it all came together. I don't like using the phrase, it takes a village. But it took a lot of people to bring this together and make it work. And I think that it showed last Saturday night. It was just a fun time. So, if you have questions about anything about the Columbia Club Foundation, I'll do the best I can to answer those. Since we don't have a full year's financials I have through March, I can answer some of those questions. I don't have my accountant here tonight, and I'm not an accounting person, but I will do the best I can. I am a marketing guy like Mr. Edbach, and I really get things done like he does. So I'll do the best. Yes.
Okay, so you're right, Saturday night was fabulous. Do you have like an estimate of how much we were able to raise for the foundation?
I know it was at least $25,000.
Wow.
Yes. And that money, those monies will go to infrastructure, facade, platinum. We don't hold money. Okay, so one gentleman asked over here, what's the difference between someone who pledges and someone actually pays? Sometimes there's a delay factor there, and you have to ask people again and again to come up with those monies. But the money we have collected will go directly to these programs that Mr. Edbach here has talked about. It will go immediately. We don't hold monies. Those monies will go immediately to him. We just need the process to be followed. As you might know, we're a 501c3. We're a separate entity. So we're not part of the Columbia Club. We're a separate entity. But we do support the club, and we'll do everything we can to move monies quickly to the club. At the last board meeting, there was a question about, I think we transferred $126,000 of monies that have been paid to the foundation and to the club. And we had an extra $15,000, and there was some debate as to whether we had the money. And we found the money, we immediately transferred it to the club that day. So we moved the money quickly, and we're very supportive of the Platinum program. I cannot tell you how visionary this program is. I'm very impressed, and I'm not easily impressed. The man has done a great job. He really has. So, if you have any more questions of the foundation, we have to answer those. If not, thank you for being here tonight.
Honestly, I did not pay anybody to give me compliments. I think they know that if we're coming up for re-election, and I want to make sure that they don't get stuck with moving this forward. So, now, again, I have been honored to have the opportunity to serve with a great board of directors and staff and leadership to help make this happen. I had the ideas, but they have the effort and the energies and determination to push forward. And that said, as you know, it takes a lot of staff to make all this come together. So I would like us to just have our staff stand, be recognized, and be appreciated for all that they do to make One opportunity I have is I get to work with staff, and I come to depend upon them, and they always exceed my expectations. I continue to well. A couple things before I close out with Q&A is, as you know, we have a community leadership and development program. Our chairman, Dick Hester, is here. He also works with Mike Simmons to chair our CCI, which is Columbian Community Impact Leadership Training Program for our Harrison Society. And they would like to be, and will be conducting a community engagement survey among all Columbians. It seems like we are a community of community leaders, and a significant number of us donate time and effort and treasures to the communities in which we live and work. We're trying to get a handle on what is that collective effort so that we can clearly communicate to the city the impact and the role that the Columbian Club is having in the community where we live and where we serve. So that survey will be coming out shortly. We also, under Tammy Singleton, will be conducting a family services survey for those people who have kids between the ages of 2 and 12, and trying to come up with a host of various club services that may be of interest and value to the parents of younger kids, and we will be asking those people, which of these would you like us to see put into service for you in the coming year. So those 2 surveys are coming out. I will conclude by opening up to any questions you may have, and I'll either try and answer them, sidestep them, or pass them off to somebody else. Any questions? I don't want to stand between you and the bar. It is open, and it is to the back group, so thank you so very much. I appreciate your time tonight.